Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today I am going to be building a 100,000 simoleon tiny house. First of all, I just want to say I'm so sorry I did not post any videos at all last week. I had some pretty serious computer issues where I tried to turn on my computer and Windows would not load. So I spent a good amount of time trying to get that fixed, and then once it was fixed, I decided that I should do the responsible thing and back up my computer because it had been a long time, and the backup took days to complete. And it turned out that I didn't have enough room on the drive that I was trying to back up to, but it didn't tell me that at first. So I couldn't use my computer last week from Monday until Saturday. So it was basically torture for me. But yeah, so that's why there weren't any videos at all last week. So I do apologize, but I'm back and my computer is, for the time being, good. So hopefully that doesn't happen again. I'm going to be getting a new computer actually within the next month or so. So I'm hoping that this computer will hang on until then. And yeah, if not, you'll find out. So anyways, I am doing a 100,000 simoleon tiny house. So typically tiny houses, at least in The Sims, are pretty basic just because there's not enough room to put in a lot of objects. So they tend to have a pretty low budget and aren't very flashy or expensive looking. Sometimes they're kind of more modern, but even then they still sort of have more of a industrial modern look to them rather than a high-end modern. So I thought that it would be fun to challenge myself to make a sim with 100,000 simoleons and then build them a house, using as much of that money as I possibly could. So I think in the end, I'm shy by maybe 2 simoleons. It's pretty close. So this is on one of the 20 by 15 lots in Newcrest, because that's the smallest lot that we have in the game. But yeah, so I did end up spending almost my full 100,000. Yeah, so I actually anticipated that this would be more of a challenge than it wound up being, but as it turns out, just like in real life, it is very easy to spend money in The Sims. I got to the point where everything was decorated and furnished, and, well, not totally decorated, but at least with wallpaper and flooring and some lights, and then all of a sudden I realized that I only had 2,000 simoleons left, and I was like, where did all of my money go? Oh god, this is too close to reality. So it actually turns out to be almost more of a financial planning challenge than it was oh, see if you can spend all this money. No, obviously spending money is pretty easy. So yeah, so this house, I built it in a very traditional slash frou-frou slash stuffy style. So the sim that I had in mind, you can kind of see here in the bottom left corner occasionally. So she's actually a sim that I had built for the Sim Supplies Parenthood LP when he was trying to find families to put in to his world that were very perfect on the outside types of people. So this is one of the Sims that I had created for that. I have her saved in my library, and then I just deleted out the rest of her family because this is definitely a house that's only meant for 1, maybe 2 Sims. So there's just the 1 bedroom with a double bed in it, and that's about it. So I deleted her family and used her for this. But so it's very, very traditional. And with the arched windows, it kind of reminds me of a house that would have been built maybe in the late 90s or the early 2000s. You don't tend to see very many houses anymore with those floor to ceiling arched windows. That's just not a thing. So it's a little bit dated in style, but it's very kind of a snobby style of house. If a house could be a snob, that would be this house. So I also put on this huge patio outside because I decided pretty quickly that one, I wanted a pool because that definitely suited this sort of house. And two, that inside of the house there would not be enough room for a dining table along with everything else that I wanted to put in. And in reality, I probably could have rearranged some things and like forced a dining table in, but why sit inside of your house when you have a beautiful patio with a luxurious pool with like flower petals and stuff floating in it? So, yes, so the house is actually a 6x6 room on the first floor and another 6x6 room on the second floor. And then I just sort of staggered it a little bit to make it more interesting as opposed to being just like a tower. I did want to build a 2-story tiny house. If I had built a 1-story tiny house, there's no way I would have been able to spend the full 100,000. But because a lot of times tiny houses aren't a true 2-story, they're more of like a story and a half, but there isn't really a great way to build a story and a half house in The Sims 4. So, because typically they'll have like the living room and the kitchen on the first floor, and then the bedroom will be sort of like a loft upstairs. So I do make the second story into a loft, where it sort of overlooks the living room down below. But it's, yeah, from the outside it looks like it's like a full 2-story house, but in reality it's not supposed to be that way. So use your imagination. But yeah, so the first floor has the one and only bathroom, and then it also has a little living room area and then a little kitchen area. So, yes, this is now me struggling to remember how to make a loft. I couldn't remember how to do it. It's been a while since I've used that, like, sort of cheat technique to make the fences into a room, so then you can delete just part of the floor to make it like look over the floor below it. So it took me a little bit to remember how to do that. Then I also toyed around with putting in a column, because in reality there probably would have been a column somewhere, but I just couldn't find a spot where I liked it, how it looked. So again, use your imagination. There should ideally be a column at that corner, but because of the stairs being right there, I couldn't fit one in where it looked like decent. So yes, so I used the most expensive bed and the most expensive counters and the most expensive kitchen appliances, and then after I put in a bunch of very expensive things, I started to realize I'm actually going to run out of money, which was not the point of this challenge at all. So yeah, so I do kind of go back and I'll change some things. Like at one point I make the front porch smaller than what it ends up being, or I make the front porch smaller than how it starts off, and like this row of counters, man, I cannot talk today. This row of counters over here by the window, I delete out one section of it, not just for the price issue of it, but also because I realized that I needed to find a spot to put a TV and a couch. So yeah, just to give my living room here a little bit more space. I really liked doing like kind of the inverted L shape on the kitchen. That's not a shape I tend to do very much with the kitchen counters, but I liked how it looked in this house. So yes, I'm trying to remember now. I think I end up deleting that kitchen sink. I do have a dishwasher for them, so and then obviously if the dishwasher breaks, there is a sink in the bathroom, so your Sims could still do their dishes. Although in reality, a Sim living in this type of house would probably just hire the handyman to come and fix the dishwasher for them, so that shouldn't be too much of an issue. But yeah, and then I tried several different things with this living room, and I don't remember why I didn't keep this orientation. I honestly don't know. To be perfectly honest, I wasn't 100% happy with how this living room area turned out. I think in reality, I probably should have deleted that L-shaped counter from the kitchen, but I really liked it because I hadn't done it before, so I decided to keep it, but I probably should have gotten rid of it. But anyways, so yeah, the style that I went with is kind of very stuffy and a little bit dated looking. So maybe in my mind, this is sort of the house that I had pictured, like maybe a young socialite from like a well-to-do family owns this house, and maybe it's actually like owned by her parents. I'm saying her because the bathroom is pink and the bedroom is pink and purple, so you know, I'm just assuming that this is meant for more of a female sim than a male sim. But like maybe her parents owned this little cottage house originally and then decided like, oh, well, our daughter needs a place to live, so we'll just give it to her. But like maybe it hasn't been updated in like 20 years or so. So yeah, that was sort of my thought. But you know, I managed to fit in, I think, do I keep that stereo? There were a few things that afterwards I went back and changed. I know I kept the computer that basically looks like an iMac. So that, I think that computer is like 10,000 simoleons in game, I believe. So yeah, turns out I'm very good at spending money. But yeah, so I did also want to put in a little bit of landscaping outside to make it seem more of a homey house. And then outside there's also a bar. I didn't put in a barbecue or a grill. I thought about it, but then one, there wasn't a lot of space available on the patio at that point. If I wanted, I could choose between either doing a grill or a bar, and I picked the bar because that seemed, again, more typical of the sim who would live in this house. That she would probably want something tasty to drink over having somebody grill out some food. I did also start off with the diving ledge as well, but then I ended up deleting that too, just because of space. Plus, it seems a little out of place in such a small pool to have this giant rock. Like, that is one thing that I do wish. I wish we still had just plain old diving boards instead of the, like, ledges that you have to climb up on, like a diving platform or the rock platform to jump off of. Like, for some things that's really cool, and I like that we have that option, but I also sort of wish that when they had patched in pools to the base game that they had put in just the regular old diving board as well. Though I don't think when we had pools in The Sims 3, I don't remember if diving boards were in the base game or not. I know that slides were not in the base game for The Sims 3, and of course we don't have pool slides for The Sims 4 at all, so you know, there is that. But yeah, so I'm hoping that at some point they put in maybe some more pool content. Sometimes it feels like we still don't have enough stuff to do outside, which is crazy because we have a good amount of packs that are focused on, like, you know, outdoor things, outdoor retreat, romantic garden, backyard stuff. Technically, even the toddler stuff pack is supposed to be more outdoorsy focused, but like, where are the swings and the sliding boards? I mean, for the children. I know that there's one for the toddlers, but like the full-size one for older kids to play on. You know, things like that. I wish we had them, but you know, in good time, I'm sure at some point we'll get more things put in to the game. I did really like the Diwali content that came out in last week's patch, although because I couldn't even get onto my computer. I couldn't do anything. So like I could still obviously like check Twitter and email and stuff through my phone, but like I couldn't update my game. It was just totally frozen. So yeah, I don't know. This computer I've had for almost 4 years now, and it's a laptop. So it's a nice laptop, or it was when I bought it. Like, it's a higher end laptop that I have, but it's starting to show its age now, and it's running slower and slower and slower and just kind of noisy. And so yes, so I've had a laptop since 2005. Wow. That's a very long time. I've been a laptop user for 12 years, dear God. But anyways, so that the computer that I will be getting is a desktop, which I'm very excited to make the switch into a desktop computer because I've paid my dues with having a computer that cannot be upgraded in any way, shape, or form. So now it's time for me to get something that's like beefier from the get-go, and then also easier to update down the road. So very exciting. But so yes, and I did remember to put in a trash can and a mailbox, although I forgot that at one point, so now you see me going through and deleting things because I literally did not have enough money for a trash can and a mailbox, which I think the mailboxes are free, but the trash cans are not. And it's like, really? You're charging me for a trash can? I mean, like, I know in reality you have to pay for trash cans in some way. Like, either your dumpster type trash cans are paid for by the city when you pay taxes, or like smaller trash cans inside of your house you have to pay for when you go to a store. But to me, that's just like one of those required things that should be free, but it's not. But anyways, so if you like this 100,000 simoleon tiny house, you can get it on the Sims 4 gallery. There's a link directly to it in the description box below this video, or you can search for it using my username or my hashtag, which is Mrs. Tomato 1018. So yeah, there's a lot of other stuff on my gallery page that I haven't always made videos for. So, you know, check it out, poke around a little bit, because there's some fun stuff up there. So anyways, I hope you guys liked this video. And if you did, please like it. If you haven't subscribed to my channel yet and you want to see more content like this, please go ahead and subscribe. And you can also hit that little bell icon to send you a notification for every time I post a video, which is just like so handy. So go ahead and hit that bell icon too if you'd like. And thanks so much for watching, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye!